Hello, dear students. Today we are going to complete our previous lesson about animals and their parts in Chapter 1, Lesson 3. First, we are going to talk about how do fish breathe and move. If you remember, we said that the animals use their structures to get their needs. Let's see, what does this fish use so it gets its needs? First of all, let's talk about breathing. What are the structures that the fish use to breathe? Yes, very good. First, it's going to use its mouth. How? The water enters the mouth. So in breathing, the water enters the mouth. Then there is another structure. It's very important. It helps the fish to take in the oxygen from the water. Do you remember what are these structures? Yes, very good. The gills. So, after the water enters the mouth, the water flows out through the gills. And as the water flows out, the gills take in the oxygen from the water. So, the gills are structures that take in oxygen from the water. So, these two structures, mouth and gills, are important in breathing. Let's talk about moving. What are the structures that help in moving? Yes, very good. First, the tail, or we call it the muscular tail. How? By waving the tail to move forward. So the fish moves or waves its tail so it moves forward. There is another structure help in moving. Do you know what is it? Yes, a fin. And actually, the fish has more than one fin. So the fins help to steer forward food or away from danger. So we can say the fins help to move the fish in a direction. So muscular tail and fins help in moving. Now we are going to talk about what do animals need to survive. As we said before, they need food, water, and oxygen. And we said that they can get their needs through their structures. They use their structures to get their needs. And actually, the animals need something else to stay safe and survive. Do you know what is it? Yes, the shelter. Why do they need the shelters? Yes, to stay safe. So a shelter is a safe place for animals or for living things. Animals need a way to stay safe. What do they want to stay safe from? Yes, from the other animals that want to hunt them or from the bad weather. How? How could animals stay safe? Yes, by finding a shelter, hiding in a safe place, or by using their special structures. Let's start now finding a shelter. We're gonna see some animals find shelters to stay safe, as these young birds, as you see. Where are these young birds? Yes, in a nest. And where is this nest? On the tree. Very good. And who built this nest? Very good. The parents or the adult birds. So the adult birds build nests to keep their young safe. How could they build their nests? Actually, they are using their beaks and feet to gather and carry materials like dry sticks of trees and the dry leaves and many different materials, and so they build their nests on trees. Another animals, they find a shelter to stay safe, like this animal, which we call it a groundhog. Where does this where does this animal hiding? Yes, it's hiding in a hole in the ground. So the groundhogs dig holes in the ground. How could they dig these holes? Yes, they use their paws to dig holes in the soil. Let's talk now about this animal. Yes, it's a lizard. And where is this lizard? Yes, it's hiding under the rock. Why it's hiding under the rock? The lizards hide under rocks just to stay safe from the other animals, or because during the morning it's very hot in the desert. So they hide under the rocks. How could they hide under the rocks? Actually, they flatten their bodies and crawl under rocks. Now let's talk about the structures. So, some animals have special structures that help them to stay safe, like this kangaroo. Actually, the kangaroo carries the babies or the young. How? Because the kangaroos have pouches. So the kangaroo's pouch help to keep the young safe. Now, another structure, as you see in this animal, it's a porcupine. The porcupine, it has quills, sharp quills. These sharp quills are very important to keep away the other animals that want to hunt them. As you see in this picture, there is a lion wants to hunt the porcupine, but it cannot touch because of the sharp quills. Another structures like this snail, which has a hard shell. So the snail's hard shell to protect the snail. Now, what is this animal? Yes, it's a polar bear. And as you see, the polar bear lives in a very cold place. So it needs a structure just to stay warm from the cold. What is this structure? Do you know? Yes, very good. A fur. So the polar bear's fur, it's important to shield the bear from the cold. To shield it from the cold. So this is our lesson for today. Let's solve now check questions. Compare and contrast. Describe two different ways that animals stay safe. What are the two ways that we studied in this lesson? How could animals stay safe? First, they could find a safe shelter. They may find safety in shelters or by using their special structures. They may build structures that keep them safe. Critical thinking. Think of some animals you know. How do they stay safe? We have many different examples about how could some animals stay safe. Tell me some of them and I will tell you some. There's, for example, the turtle. The turtle has a hard shell to protect it. There is also a way for the skunk. The skunk sprays a stinky chemical to keep the animals away. There are so many different ways for the animals to stay safe. I will tell you about the ones you studied them in this lesson. The lizards flatten their bodies and crawl under rocks. A snail's hard shell protects it. Thank you for your listening.